The night before the games. There was no ground beneath them, no sky above them, only endless blackness, sprinkled with faint stars. This was the void between galaxies, the place where nothing lived except the arena. And it slept. A tiny star hovered in the center of the emptiness, no bigger than a candle flame. It pulsed weakly, waiting.
What brings 4 universes to a single sleeping star?
The god of the universe stepped forward.
We seek the arena of the gods. The games of the galaxies must begin. We ask that you awaken.
A pause. The star pulsed slowly, as though thinking.
Many eras have passed since I last rose,
The voice said.
Do you understand what you ask?
Voyan lifted his chin. We do. The star's light deepened.
Do you remember the cost?
Ashera nodded, her eyes fixed on the star. Essence, she whispered. The arena must be restored through us. The star answered gently.
Not essence alone. You must each give what you are. The truth of your worlds, the breath of your galaxies. Only then will I rise.
The void brightened, a soft warning, not a threat.
Will you give what is owed?
For a long moment, none of them spoke. There was no fear here, only duty. You are watching the Tales of the Savannah. Subscribe and be part of the tribe. Now let's get back to the story. Amarith stepped forward first. Her lavender glow lit the darkness. She lifted her hand, and a ribbon of soft light unwound from her palm. It shimmered like moon dust. She pressed it into the star. The star inhaled. A soft gasp, almost like pleasure, rippled across the void. The star grew brighter. Voyan stepped next. Cold, sharp light flared around him. He opened his hand, and a geometric mathematical energy hovered there. Perfect, precise, unbreakable. The essence of Zitharon. He pushed it into the star. For a moment the star twitched, as if overwhelmed by too much calculation. Then it swallowed the energy whole. Ashera stepped forward. The void grew quiet. Her presence dimmed the stars around her. She placed 2 fingers over her heart and pulled. And a soft silver soul flame rose from her chest, floating like smoke. Calm, gentle, deadly. She guided the soul flame into the star. The star shuddered, darkened, then burned brighter than before. Finally, the god of the universe approached. The void bent around him. He opened his palm. Light poured out, not a beam but a heartbeat, the pulse of creation. All galaxies knew that heartbeat. He pressed it into the star. The void exploded with sound. A scream, not in pain, in life. Light burst outward, blinding. It expanded, stretched, twisted, pulling matter from the air. The heavens shook. The gods stood steady. The tiny star grew, became a sphere, then a ring, then walls, then pillars, then a massive arena spiraling into existence, a structure of galaxies, comets, and starlight. A living thing, a divine giant opening its eyes. The lights dimmed. The voice returned, now loud and awake.
The arena of the gods has awakened.
The 4 gods looked at it with awe. Even Voyan's mouth parted. Amarith's eyes widened. Ashera breathed softly, and the god of the universe smiled with pride. Tomorrow their champions would enter it. Tomorrow the galaxies would clash. Tomorrow the games of the gods would begin, for the ancient arena was now awake.
Children of the Savannah, hear me. For the games of the universes are upon us, and the arena has awakened from its eternal sleep. Among you walk a chosen few, those whose hearts burn brighter than suns, whose loyalty echoes beyond the veil of worlds. They are the inner circle. To you, inner circle, I extend an invitation written not in ink, but in destiny. Come, take your rightful place in the celestial stands. Sit where mortals do not sit. See what mortals do not see. Witness the clash of galaxies at my side. Your names, I have carved them upon the pillars of the arena. Your support sustains the storyteller. Your devotion fuels the flame. Your presence strengthens the tale itself. And to all others who dwell in the savannah, know this: the gates are not closed to you. If your heart longs for greatness, if your spirit hungers for more, if you desire a seat among the chosen, step forward, join them, stand as part of the circle, and your name too shall be spoken in my halls. For in the games of the universes, those who walk closest to the fire are remembered forever. Inner circle, be ready, the games are upon us.
The rain was a wall of water, turning the world to mud. As Paka led Nyala into the territory of the lion people, the skies seemed to tear open with a new fury. Rivers were swollen, threatening to burst. The very land was drowning. "I need to meet with your elders, Paka," Nyala shouted over the downpour, her feet sinking in the muck. "With the healers, they must introduce me to the land. I cannot do this work without their blessing." Paka's face was set like stone. "There is no need for that. I am the king. I am the only representative you need." "This is not how it works," she pleaded, grabbing his arm. "This land belongs to your ancestors. I need to speak to someone who speaks to them." She searched his face, and her eyes widened with horror. "Paka, are you doing this without your people's blessing? Your father just passed. This could break every morning ritual." "I have to save my people, Nyala," he snapped, pulling away. "Somehow. By dishonoring the very customs that give you the right to rule, you should have told me this before we left." "We're already here," he roared, gesturing to the drowning world around them. "Look, the gods themselves are trying to wash us away. What is the point of a tradition that leaves only corpses to observe it? The gods help those who help themselves." Nyala hugged herself, cold and terrified. He was right about the danger, but so wrong about the path. Yet, they were here. The damage was done. "We need a cow," she said, her voice trembling. "A black one, without a single mark, and the root of the whispering tree. The one that opens channels to the spirit world." Paka's eyes flashed. "Wait here, in the forest. I will get everything." Paka moved through his village like a ghost, his secret a heavy weight. He took the finest black cow from the royal herd, mumbling about a necessary sacrifice for the elders' journey. Then he went to Muka. "The root of the whispering tree," Paka said, trying to sound casual. "I need it." Muka, who was mending a spear, looked up sharply. "That root is not for kings to handle. It is for Makosi alone. It opens a door to the ancestors that is not easily closed. What do you need it for?" "Makosi requested it," Paka lied, his heart pounding, "for their communion on the mountain." Muka's eyes narrowed. He did not believe him, but the trust he had for Shumba extended for now to the sun. With a slow, reluctant hand, he gave Paka a small, gnarled piece of root. "Be careful, Paka. Some doors once opened let things in that you cannot force out." An hour later, a soaked and shivering Nyala saw Paka return, leading the black cow. Without a word, they began the treacherous climb up the sacred mountain. The feeling of wrongness grew with every step. This was not a formal procession. This was a theft of sacred access. When they reached a high clearing, the air hummed with a power that made Nyala's teeth ache. "I can't, Paka," she whispered, her courage failing. "This does not feel right." "We're here now," Paka said. "Please. Then introduce me to your gods. I cannot call on them unless you name me." He nodded. They knelt in the mud. Nyala scattered the herbs. The wind howled around them. Paka lifted his hands. "My fathers, my mothers, all who came before me, I kneel before you in desperation. This is Nyala. She is no threat. She is here to help us where you could not. She has come to stop the rains." High above, in the shimmering realm of the Ancestral Savannah, the council was in session. Great lions of past kings lounged on clouds, telling tales of old battles. The mood was calm. Then, a voice cut through the chatter like a knife. "Listen." They all fell silent. A channel had been forced open from the world below. They looked down and saw Paka and a strange girl. "Who is she?" one spirit asked. They listened to Paka's introduction. "She will stop the rains." A collective gasp rippled through the council. "What is he doing?" Panic set in. "This will cut Shumba's transition short. It will halt his journey to us. Naraka's wishes will be broken." "What do we do?" a younger lion spirit cried. "Should we call for Naraka, or should we strike the girl with sickness?" They all looked at each other, terrified and uncertain. Then Samson spoke, a slow, calculating smile on his face. "We do nothing." The council was stunned into silence. This was outright defiance. "Naraka favored Shumba too much," Samson purred, his eyes glinting with a jealous fire. "When Shumba arrives to the Ancestral Savannah, his power will eclipse ours. He will be Naraka's right hand. But if his son's ritual succeeds, if it disrupts the transition, Shumba may never arrive at all. Let the boy play with forces he doesn't understand. Let fate take its course." Below, unaware of the silent war in the Ancestral Savannah, Paka turned to Nyala. "I have introduced you. The way is open. Now, stop the rain." Nyala, feeling the hostile gaze of 100 ancestral eyes upon her, took a trembling breath and began her work, the fate of the living and the dead hanging in the balance. Jabali had become someone else. There is something about guilt that changes a man. It makes him watchful, tender, over-attentive, almost like a shadow. That's what Jabali had become in his own home. Akina couldn't breathe without him nearby. "I'm going to fetch water from the river," she said one morning. "Please keep an eye on my pot. I don't want it to burn." Jabali stood up immediately. "Let me come with you," he said. "What? Why? Is that not what a loving husband does?" She smiled, confused but touched. But she didn't know the truth. Jabali wasn't trying to be sweet. He was trying to be safe, trying to make sure Akina never walked alone, never bumped into a neighbor who might whisper, "Did you hear? The chief has taken a second wife." He wasn't ready, not to tell her, not to see her eyes when she found out. Even Chipo was not spared. "I am going to Unkosana's house to see Naya," she chirped. "Well, maybe we should go together," Jabali interjected. "I also want to see my friend." "Father?" Chipo asked, confused but agreeable. "Yes, let's go." And so he escorted them, a smiling, nervous shield, ensuring their world remained a blissful, ignorant bubble. He wasn't ready to tell the truth, and so he built a prison of his own making, with himself as the chief warden. While Jabali guarded his secret, a different kind of tension filled Zanele's hut. A quiet knock, 2 precise raps, sounded on her door. When she opened it, her breath caught. Father Bernard stood there, his priest's collar a stark white against the gloom. "Come in," she whispered, her voice tight. He stepped inside, the space suddenly too small for their shared history. "I will not stay long," he said, his eyes avoiding hers. "The Brotherhood has agreed. You can bring her to the caves, the ones we used to use before." The words were a coded map, a way to avoid the sacred ground of the church and the prying eyes of the witches. Zanele simply nodded. She knew the place. "Can I see her?" he asked. Zanele hesitated. He was giving them so much. She had no right to refuse. "Yes," she said quietly. He walked into the back room. There she was, Sekai, sitting in the corner, her hair tangled, her eyes distant, her arms wrapped around her knees, her mouth moving, whispering. She turned slowly when she saw him, and then she said it. "Father." Just that one word. Father Bernard froze. He almost dropped to his knees. Zanele stepped into the room behind him, alarmed. "Did you tell her?" he asked, voice low, sharp. "No." Her voice was shaking. "I never told her." They both stared at Sekai. There was no doubt now. She knew, and not because someone had told her, but because sometimes the broken mind, the one most people had given up on, could still hear the spirit. Father Bernard turned away, his chest rising fast. He stepped out. Zanele followed him to the door. "Thank you," she said. "You didn't have to come." He paused. He didn't look at her. Then he whispered, "She was supposed to have your eyes." Zanele smiled. "But instead, she had yours." The pain she had buried, it rushed back to the surface. Father Bernard stared at her. He had never stopped loving her, neither had she. But they would never say it. Not in this lifetime. He turned to go. "I hope," he said softly, "I hope we are not too late." Zanele stood in the doorway. She didn't answer. She just watched him leave, praying that the Brotherhood would be enough to bring their daughter back. The cave was a place of shadows and secrets. When Zanele led a shuffling Sekai inside, the hooded figures of the Brotherhood turned as one, facing the rough stone walls to hide their identities. "Welcome," a single voice echoed, Father Bernard's. He guided Sekai to the center of the circle, her movements clumsy and her eyes vacant. "You can leave us now," he said to Zanele, his voice stern and official, a wall between the priest and the mother. Sekai looked up, a flicker of strange clarity in her gaze. "You can go now, Mother. I'll see you soon," she said, and then she giggled, a sound that was both childish and chilling. A single tear traced a path down Zanele's cheek. "Please, take care of her," she whispered, before forcing herself to turn and walk out into the night to wait, her heart pounding with a mother's helpless hope. As the cave entrance was sealed, the wizards turned to face the center. Father Bernard stood before them, his hood thrown back, his face raw with emotion. "My brothers," he began, his voice thick. "I know we are not in good books. I know I have sinned against your trust. But I am begging you, for the sake of my daughter, do this with pure hearts. Please, do not punish her for my sins. She does not deserve this suffering." He looked at each of them, his gaze pleading. "And remember, this madness puts the whole village out of balance. We are not just helping the witches. We are healing Makuru." It was Papa Pele who broke the silence. The man who played the fool in the streets now stood with a straight back and eyes sharp as flint. "Enough talk," he said, his voice a low, resonant command. "The mind is not a wall to break. It is a lock to pick, and it is a lock I know." All eyes turned to him. He was the oldest, the one who remembered the oldest ways. He was their locksmith. "Bernard," Papa Pele said, "your blood is her blood. Anchor her spirit. Call your ancestors, for they are hers too." Father Bernard knelt, cradling his daughter's head in his hands. He began to whisper, not a spell, but a plea to the generations that connected them. "Grandmothers, grandfathers, guide her home. Show her the path. The rest of you," Papa Pele commanded, "your power to me, not a flood, a trickle, precise, controlled." Zuberi raised his hands, and a thread of cool blue light flowed toward Papa Pele. Nkosana placed his hands on the stone floor, and a steady green energy of the earth joined the stream. One by one, the Brotherhood offered their strength, a symphony of power flowing into the old man. Papa Pele closed his eyes. He was sweating now, trembling with the effort of containing and directing so much energy. He was not just holding it, he was calculating. He was inside her mind. It was not a place of thoughts, but of shattered mirrors and locked doors. He moved through the chaos like a ghost, his own will a slender thread of light, searching for the core, the place where the curse had sealed her away. He found it. A vault of black, polished stone, seamless and cold, with a lock of twisted, smoking iron. This was the work of the witch's strongest magic. "I see it," he whispered, his voice strained. "A vault of punishment. The lock is..." complex. His hands moved in the air as if working on an invisible mechanism. He was not using brute force. He was listening, feeling for the tumblers within the metaphysical lock. He mumbled an ancient prayer, words so old the very air in the cave grew still to hear them. A drop of sweat fell from his brow and sizzled on the stone floor. The Brotherhood held its breath. The stakes were terrifying. One wrong move, one misaligned frequency, and the lock could snap shut forever, or worse, shatter her mind completely. "Almost," Papa Pele breathed, his hands trembling violently. "The final pin. It resists." He poured the focused energy of the entire Brotherhood into that single stubborn point. His knuckles were white, a thin trickle of blood ran from his nose. Click. The sound was not loud, but it echoed in the soul of every man present. The black vault in Sekai's mind vanished. Papa Pele's eyes flew open. He gasped, staggering back, the connection severed. The streams of light snapped back to their owners. The air in the cave was still thick with magic. It pulsed gently through the walls, ancient, sacred, alive. Sekai lay still in the center of the room, the glow of the ritual fading from her skin. Then she stirred. Her fingers twitched. Her eyes fluttered open. The warlocks, hooded and silent, moved quickly. One by one, they scattered behind the boulders and stone pillars that lined the cavern walls. In a few seconds, the sacred chamber looked empty, as if no one had ever been there. Sekai sat up slowly, dazed. Her heart pounded. Her mind was still foggy. Where was she? She looked around, seeing nothing but rock and shadow, and then a voice. Deep, echoing, commanding. "You have been made whole. Go now. You will meet your mother outside." Sekai froze. The voice rumbled through the cave like thunder trapped in stone. She clutched her chest. "Am I?" she whispered. "Am I dead?" She blinked. No gods appeared, no angels, just stillness. Her legs shook beneath her as she tried to stand. She wobbled, taking one slow, cautious step forward. And then the sacred silence shattered. A long, unmistakable fart bounced off the cave walls like a drumbeat of betrayal. Sekai paused. Her eyes darted around. The voice of the gods had gas? From behind the boulders, no one moved. Papa Pele's head turned slowly, very slowly, to the left. His eyes narrowed. Not again. It was him. The same culprit. The same disgrace. The man who had farted during Sekai's bride price negotiations had done it again, in a sacred cave, during a holy rite. Sekai, still dazed and confused, continued her slow walk to the cave entrance. She was too out of it to notice anything odd. She simply mumbled, "Thank you, gods," and disappeared into the light. Outside, Zanele was waiting. "Mother?" Sekai said weakly. Zanele's eyes welled with tears. She ran forward and held her daughter tightly, sobbing, grateful. Inside the cave, Papa Pele slowly stepped forward, his face twisted with disapproval. He whispered harshly, "Have you no shame?" The culprit stepped out from behind a rock, sheepish, avoiding eye contact. "I don't know what happens," he said, shrugging. "My stomach doesn't agree with serious situations." Papa Pele crossed his arms. During her bride price, he pointed. Now again, during her healing. "I think it's a nervous condition," the man mumbled. The rest of the Brotherhood tried, and failed, to hold in their laughter. Even Father Bernard chuckled behind his hood. Zuberi covered his mouth. Nkozana turned to the wall to hide his grin. But Papa Pele was not done. "Hold him down," he barked. "Brotherhood, hold him. Let me lock his buttocks today." Two warlocks rushed to grab the offender by the arms, laughing as they did. "Papa Pele, please," the uncle cried, already laughing in shame. "It was the beans. You think this is a cooking pot? You bring beans to the sacred cave? I didn't plan it. You never plan it, and yet you always perform." He tried to run. Papa Pele lunged and missed. Let me lock those buttocks of yours, he shouted, chasing him around the rocks. What kind of man has such loose bowels all the time? Zuberi nearly choked with laughter. Papa Pele, please, Nkozana said, wiping his eyes. Calm down. Calm down, he yelled, still chasing the man. I'm the locksmith, remember? Papa Pele continued, circling him. I will lock him today. I'll weld his buttocks shut. No more disgrace. Please, I'm sorry, the man begged. I told you, my stomach doesn't like pressure. You need holy stitches. Now come here. Even Father Bernard was doubled over, shaking with laughter. Eventually, the man tripped on his own robe and fell to the ground. Papa Pele hovered over him, triumphant. I'll lock it with ancient iron, he muttered. Ngoma forged, iron God blessed. Okay, the uncle whimpered. But can I at least pass one more before you lock it? The Brotherhood howled. Papa Pele threw his arms in the air and walked off. I swear, this village is cursed with fools, he grumbled. But his smile gave him away. Makuru was healing, one fart at a time. The river dimmed into a soft golden hue, lit by floating lanterns of bioluminescent coral. The dining chamber shimmered with elegance. Pearl chandeliers swayed gently with the current, and a long table set with crystal shells, silver eel-bone cutlery, and jewel-toned sea glass goblets stretched across the room. Lulenga rose from his seat. His voice was calm, resonant, a king speaking not only to his family, but to the spirit of his kingdom. Welcome, my family. Tonight, we honor an ancient tradition of our people, the Day of Giving Thanks. It is a time to reflect, not on what we have lost, but on what we still hold dear. We will go around this table, and each of us will speak what we are thankful for. He looked at each of them, Kitapo, Mamiwata, Mwamba, his heart full. I'll begin. I am grateful for you, my daughter Kitapo, wild as a storm, but loyal as the tide. You bring light into places even I cannot reach. I am grateful for you, Mamiwata, for your grace, your strength, and for choosing us as your home. I am grateful for you, Mwamba, my brother in arms, my shield in war, my companion in peace, and I am grateful for my people, for the kingdom that continues to stand with me through all waters dark and deep. I am, above all, grateful for the chance to sit at this table with all of you. He sat. Mamiwata followed, her voice flowing like a lullaby. I am grateful for the love that lives in this home, and for the chance to give love and receive it. I'm grateful for you, Kitapo, though your energy sometimes makes the river quake. They laughed. You've embraced me not as a stranger, but as your own. And to you, Lulenga, thank you for making me more than just a queen. You made me a woman again. Then came Kitapo. She stood with theatrical flair, dramatically brushing an invisible tear from her eye. I am grateful for food. Everyone laughed. No, but really, I'm grateful for the oysters, the sweet reef berries, the... Kitapo, Mamiwata said, trying to hide her smile. Kitapo giggled, but then took a breath. Her face softened. Okay, I'm grateful for you, Father, for your wisdom and your strength. And Mamiwata. She turned and looked at her stepmother with sincere eyes. I'm grateful that you've joined our family. You didn't have to love me, but you do. And I see it. And I feel it. The table went quiet for a moment. Mamiwata reached across the table and touched Kitapo's hand. I'm grateful for you too, my little hurricane. Kitapo paused for a moment, then softened. And I'm also grateful for a certain young man who has stolen my heart, and who is unfortunately not with us today. She glanced at Mamiwata. Their eyes met. A knowing smile passed between them. And my best defender, my second father, Mwamba. You all have loved me since the very day I was born, and I am truly grateful for that. She winked. I'm also grateful that you haven't exploded from holding in your lectures. Mwamba shook his head, chuckling as he stood. I'll keep it simple. I am grateful for family, for second chances, and for the peace we've been given. May we protect it, and may it last longer than a moment." A beat of silence followed, and in that silence they were full of food, of laughter, of love, and of the fragile beauty of calm. Until the messenger swam in quickly and bowed. "A message for King Lulenga," he said, handing him a letter tied with a deep violet ribbon. Lulenga opened it. His expression darkened. The table's joy paused like a bubble waiting to pop. "What is it, my love?" Mamiwata asked. He sighed. "It's an invitation." "From whom?" Mwamba asked cautiously. Lulenga's jaw tightened. "Ziva and Amina. They've had twins. They're hosting a naming ceremony. The entire royal family is invited." The silence was instant. Mamiwata tensed, her fingers curling slightly around her cup. Kitapo's smile faded. "He always does this," Lulenga said, his voice calm but bitter. "He waits for our moments, then he sends his little knives." "Throw it away," Mamiwata said, her voice firm but soft. "Ignore it. Today is about thanks. He doesn't get to steal that." Lulenga looked at her, then he gently placed the invitation on the table and pushed it aside. Mwamba leaned forward. "He can have his twins," he said. "We have this." And one by one, the others around the table continued, offering their words of thanks. For love, for laughter, for the little joys and the big ones, for survival, for healing, for family. Outside, the tides flowed gentle and quiet. Inside, laughter returned to the table. Peace, as it often did in these waters, visited them, even if just for a moment. And that moment was everything. My dear Savannians, to those who celebrate Thanksgiving, I want to say this with a full and grateful heart. I am thankful for you. I am thankful for your presence, your loyalty, your listening ears, and your unwavering support. Those who have walked with me from the very beginning, who have showed up for each episode without fail. I do not take you for granted, not for one moment. And last, but definitely not least, I am grateful for my inner circle, those who have stood by me month after month. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You are, and always will be, the heartbeat of the Savannah. This decision to acknowledge Thanksgiving was inspired by Butterfly Baddie, who wished to see our people surrounded by family during this season. While we do not celebrate Thanksgiving here in the Savannah, I recognize that many of you do, and it was an honor to make space for you in this episode. Thank you, Butterfly Baddie, for your positive contribution to our tribe. I would like to take a moment to say a very happy birthday to one of our inner circle members, the Ayuks. Today marks another revolution around the sun, and we honor you. May this new year of your life bring peace, joy, purpose, and every blessing your heart desires. Thank you for walking with us and for the light you bring to our circle. To the rest of my inner circle family, if you are celebrating a birthday, please send it to me. I would love to acknowledge you and wish you a heartfelt happy birthday as well. The Ayuks, enjoy your special day. May your well never run dry. Now, Papa Pele, did we receive any cool drink money last week? Yes, tribe leader, and we are deeply grateful. So as we share our cool drink, let us remember and honor those who came through for us. The modern perspective with 105 rands and Baxolele with 14 rands. We honor your generosity with full hearts. Your kindness does not go unnoticed, and your support carries this journey further than you know. May abundance follow your footsteps. May your hands never lack, and may your wells overflow always. Thank you, Papa Pele, that was really kind. Papa Pele, before I forget, some people spoke about you. Oh, what did they say about me now? Rahab says, can this man even manage a woman? He'll see thighs and sleep on the spot. How dare Rahab question my strength? Then Carmen says we should throw you off the boat before you tip it over. Throw me off? Carmen, when I catch you, you will know Papa Pele. Calm down, Papa Pele. The tribe also says they love you. Ah, that's better. Let me get another beer. Aye, aye, tribe leader, the boat, the boat. I can fix this. I can fix this. I swear, I can manage a woman and a boat. Maybe Carmen was right. No, he was not. Eventually, the boat settled. The moon reflected on the restless surface, and the laughter echoed across the savannah. And so, we end today's episode, my dear Savannians, with gratitude, with humor, with love. Until next time. Want to support the channel and become an even bigger part of our tribe? You can join for as little as the cost of a coffee each month. Your support helps me continue creating the content you love, but of course, just having you here is already more than enough. Thank you for being part of this journey. To those of you who have already joined the tribe, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are truly the heartbeat of this channel. And as always, thank you for watching our story, and we hope you enjoyed it. What lessons did you draw from this story? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the tribe. Thank you for watching The Tales of the Savannah. We will see you next time in the Savannah.